Sega.
Hi, I'm Jeff Beckham, Associate Brand Manager at Sega, and I'd like to welcome you back to Part 9 of our training series for Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown. In this video, we will cover Aoi and Lei Fei. Showcasing some of the most elegant movements in martial arts, Aoi demonstrates the hidden strengths of Aiki Jiu-Jitsu, which uses the opponent's attacks against them. Her attack reversals, sabakis, and inashi stance are key to her game and should be used to break the opponent's momentum and make them second-guess themselves. Once the opponent is hesitant, Aoi has a very strong mix-up game that can lead to combos or throws. Aoi has the ability to automatically parry most linear and half-circular high and mid attacks using her inashi stance. Use this when you feel your opponent will try to poke with small attacks or is desperate to take back the advantage. Your goal should be to get the opponent to respect the power of the inashi, which then reduces their attacking options and makes it easier for you to control the momentum. After a successful inashi, it is recommended to attack with punch-punch kick. Although punch-punch kick doesn't do much damage, the third hit will knock the opponent down and shift the momentum back into your favor. Although the inashi is a strong tool, be sure to use it sparingly as you are still vulnerable to low attacks, full circular attacks, double limbed attacks, body attacks, and throws. Rather than thinking of inashi to beat all your opponent's attacks, think of it as a way to diminish the opponent's toolset. The fewer attacks the opponent is using against you, the easier they will be to read. Another unique feature of Aoi's is her ability to cancel some attacks by tapping guard immediately after the move begins. Even though a cancelled move will not hit the opponent, Aoi will make a sound which can be useful for scaring the opponent into guarding or attacking. Now let's have a look at Aoi's punch-punch string and see how we can use it to set up an attack strategy. The first three hits, punch-punch, forward punch, can be useful as a poking tool for two main reasons. First, if the opponent tries to low punch after guarding the first two hits, their attack will be beat out by the third hit, which is a mid. Second, if they guard the third hit and try to counterattack afterward, the fourth hit will knock them down. Focus on trying to get your opponent to respect this string and then cancel into throws or other attacks once they get nervous. The forward punch or forward punch plus kick strings can be used in a similar fashion, so try to experiment and be creative. Versus players attacking with high punch strings or those that like to evade a lot, use Aoi's down kick plus guard to stop them. If your opponent doesn't use fall recovery after the sweep, you can attack them with a ground throw by pressing down punch plus guard or down toward punch plus guard. Although this full circular low sweep will leave you at a disadvantage on normal hit, it can be quite useful in tricking the opponent into attacking you while you are in your inashi or sabaki attacks. In Final Showdown, Aoi has the ability to sabaki high and mid punches by inputting quarter circle forward and punch plus kick. This attack on its own seems like nothing special, but becomes quite powerful once its sabaki state becomes active. Use it in disadvantaged situations where you think your opponent will try to counterattack with a high or mid punch. We learned about the inashi stance earlier, and you might be wondering, why not use that instead if the sabaki only works against high and mid punch based attacks? One of the most important reasons is the inashi stance is vulnerable to throws, while the sabaki will still beat throws. From starting distance, this string of Aoi's is a very safe and effective tool that can be heavily delayed and cancelled. The first hit is a mid and the follow-up is high and will knock the opponent down on counter hit, giving you a small combo opportunity. For those attempting to gain advantage by low punching the second hit, try using back kick to stagger them. Be sure not to use this technique from too close of range, as their low punch will stop the high kick. Here are a few combos. And now on to Lei Fei. Lei Fei is a Shaolin monk who has mastered a multitude of martial art styles. Through his various stances, he can confuse and dazzle opponents with his flashy moves, which are unique to each form. Lei Fei, due to his unorthodox style, is recommended for advanced players. Lei Fei's stances are what set him apart from other characters in Virtua Fighter. Not only does he have unique attacks from each stance, but he can fluidly transition in and out of each stance, so it almost seems like he is dancing. While this does not damage the opponent in any way, it can affect them psychologically with overwhelming mental pressure. The first stance we will talk about is Dokuritsu Shiki. While Lei Fei is in this vertical stance, he is able to grab all single-armed punch and elbow class attacks while just standing there. Make sure you are not adding any other inputs, as they will cancel the effect of this reversal attack. This forces Lei Fei's opponents to use much slower strikes, such as kicks, to counterattack this stance. Once you notice this happening, you can immediately attack your opponent with several options, including his evading sweep and flashy new hit throw. By now, your opponent is pressured enough to put up a guard and wait out your attacks until they have the advantage again. In this situation, Lei Fei has a low kick that will put the opponent into a heavy stagger state. In this heavy stagger state, Lei Fei can get a combo if he is close enough, or a guaranteed punch-punch. Another option, if you notice your opponent taking a heavy defensive stance, is Lei Fei's ability to cancel any of his stances with the guard button. You can deceive your opponents by flashing a stance and going in for a throw. Make sure to have fun and be creative with Lei Fei's stances. His flashy style can be used to distract any opponent in a number of ways. Dokuritsu Shiki also has the ability to roll to cover long distances. During this roll, Lei Fei gains another strong mix-up with a long-range jumping kick or a catch throw. Koko Shiki is a strong stance if you like to sabaki your opponent. Sabaki is another term used in Virtua Fighter that describes an attack that can deflect very specific moves. From this stance, you can deflect a majority of all high and mid moves. When pressing punch in this stance, Lei Fei will throw out a whirling punch that will sabaki all single-limbed high and mid attacks that are not full circular. When pressing kick, he will deflect all low attacks that are not full circular. Lei Fei's new stance in Final Showdown, Kiyoshiki, adds a lot of new moves that might interest veteran players. Learn to integrate these new moves in the flow of your attacks to confuse opponents even further. With the most sabakis in the game, Lei Fei players can control the rhythm and tempo of the match because he can reverse the tide at any given time. Here are a few scenarios where you can use sabakis to deflect a punch or elbow counterattack. Lei Fei also has a new launcher class move with extremely long range. Use this move in your backdash setups or to catch opponents by surprise from a distance. As you can see, after Lei Fei's dashing palm is blocked, he is immediately counterattacked with an elbow. On block, the space that Lei Fei's dashing palm creates is unique because he is able to safely backdash away from harm. This is the perfect opportunity to launch your opponent's whiffed attack for a surprising amount of damage. Here are some basic Lei Fei combos to get you started. Lei-Fei is one of the game's most interesting characters, and it is rare to ever see two Lei-Feis play in the same way. So the more fun and creative you can get with him, the stronger he gets. I'm Jeff Beckham from Sega. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next session.
Hey!